I got the moves. I got the moves. I'm making moves. You gotta move. You gotta make the city move. Like, whoa. I make the city move. I got the move.
The Golden State Warriors have had a very slow start to the season, to say the least. They were blown out by the Clippers in their opening game, and just today were blown out by the Oklahoma City Thunder, which definitely came as a huge shock. So, what's gone wrong with them? Why are the Warriors getting blown out? I'll be going over that in today's video. If you're new here and enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe for more NBA content. A disclaimer before we begin, because I always get at least one comment saying this, I do not think the Warriors are missing the playoffs by losing their first 2 games. I'm not going to overreact like that. This video is discussing why the Warriors have lost and what's causing them to get blown out by average teams like OKC. But with that all being said now, let's talk about the Golden State Warriors.
Lucas.
The opening 2 games for the Golden State Warriors have been absolute nightmares. Losing to the Clippers wasn't too much of a surprise, but that scoreline definitely was, as they lost by 19 and at one stage were down by a good 30 points. By far the biggest surprise so far though was them getting absolutely destroyed by OKC, as they were demolished by 28 points and were down by as much as 40 at one stage, which is just crazy to think about. And before we get into what's going wrong with the Warriors, I just want to talk about Stephen Curry, because he has been getting a bit of hate recently due to his team's poor performances. Golden State losing is not Curry's fault in any way. In my opinion, Curry has been the only respectable player on the team so far. He is shooting poorly, but he's doing everything he can out there, averaging 23, 5 and 6, and this is by far the worst team he's ever played with. Also, it's only been 2 games, there's 80 to go, so let's not worry about his shooting too much. Klay Thompson started slow last season, but dominated the final 3 quarters of the season, from behind the arc. Let's not overreact too much on Curry's apparent poor play, when in reality, he hasn't even been that bad, at least not compared to his teammates. That leads me on to my first point on why the Warriors are losing. Their roster, or more specifically, their bench. The Warriors' bench is garbage, there's no denying it. They lost solid pieces like Sean Livingston and Andre Iguodala this offseason, and now are left with guys like Kai Bauman, Eric Pascal, Omari Spellman, etc. These guys are all arguably bottom-end rotation guys, players who'd normally be getting garbage time minutes at the end of games, but now on the Warriors, they are getting a lot of minutes. I would just say this: Curry, D'Lo, Draymond, and maybe Jordan Poole, just because he's a rookie, are the only players on this roster who shouldn't be in the G League. All these other guys could easily be down there, but aren't. That's what the Warriors are stuck with this season. A bunch of inconsistent role players who would probably be in the G League if they were on another roster. I know I made a video talking about how good the Warriors will be this season, but good lord, I did not expect their bench to be this bad. Another thing that's costing them games this season is their poor shooting, especially from behind the arc. The Warriors are known for their lethal 3-point shooting, but it has not shown yet this season. Curry, D'Lo, Draymond, etc., all of them are shooting terribly to begin the season. As a team, they're shooting 36% from the field and a horrific 26% from 3. This needs to be fixed ASAP if they want to be a playoff contender. Curry can't do it all. Klay is obviously being sorely missed, but guys like D'Angelo Russell, Draymond Green, and Jordan Poole, all the shooters really, they really need to lift their game until he gets back, which may even be as late as next season. If they can't get going, it's going to be a long season for the Warriors. And finally, whilst this isn't really a major reason, I do think it is one nonetheless. It's that the coaching could be better from Steve Kerr and staff. Again, I'm not blaming a lot on Kerr and his staff, but something has to be their fault. I get it's early, he's got a very new roster, and it will take time to find rotations and all of that, but I think some of the blame needs to go Kerr's way. As I said, not a lot of it needs to be aimed towards him, but some definitely does. This is Steve Kerr's biggest challenge yet, and he must show up to prove he's a legitimate star, Hall of Fame head coach. And that's pretty much everything I think is going wrong with Golden State, or why they lost these opening games by so much. And unfortunately, it's going to be pretty hard to fix this. You can't make players shoot better, it doesn't work like that, and trading a guy like D'Angelo Russell away for a better bench and depth doesn't really make much sense, especially considering the fact that Klay may not return this season. This has got to be the worst way the Warriors wanted to start the season, and they need to find momentum to get out of the hole. It's not impossible, again, it's only been 2 games, but it's a worrying start and must be kept an eye on. And before we wrap up this video, these 2 losses really make you realize how significant KD was to this Warriors team and how much they actually did need him to win those 2 championships. It puts a lot more value on his rings than it seems now at first glance. But that will conclude the video. What do you guys think of this? What's going wrong with the Golden State Warriors? And are they still a playoff team to you? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop it a like and subscribe. But with that being said, I am out. Peace.